Hello and welcome to the Public Square. Botswana finds itself in a critical economic juncture. Diamond revenues are under pressure, growth is slowing. Earlier this month, the Minister of Finance presented a national budget with an unprecedented 25 billion pula deficit, the largest in our history. At the same time, our credit outlook is weakening, borrowing costs are rising, and international financial institutions are urging fiscal restraint. Yet government has made a bold promise to diversify the economy and attract meaningful foreign investment as a pathway to jobs, growth, and resilience. After 14 months in power, questions are being asked of the new government. Investors, we are told, are interested, but bureaucracy, siloed departments, and regulatory bottlenecks appear to be slowing momentum. Today we ask, what can be done now, not in 5 or 10 years, but in the immediate term, to stabilize and stimulate the economy? This is not merely a policy discussion. It is a conversation about jobs, confidence, and the country's economic future. In the studio, I'm joined by the Presidential Envoy on International Relations and Economic Development, Dr. Fazam Kamalabadi, to address some of these issues. Welcome, Doc. Good to see you again.
Blessings to you and Dumelang to our audience.
Very good. Very good. We appreciate that. It is common knowledge that the economy is not doing very well. The economy has contracted by about 2.8% in 2024. And in his budget speech, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Ndaba Khaolati, said they project a growth of minus 0.4. Tell me, in the immediate term, what is it that can be done to stabilize the economy?
First, for all the audience, remember, the rise and fall of economy is something natural, something periodic, but it is not automatic. It's not by itself. It is actually determined by the society, economy at large, and by government and policies, as well as the financial institutions. So it is not a passive thing that it is fallen on us and we are, you can say, pessimist and as pacifist and we are dead. No. It is in our wisdom to reimagine and reignite the engine and participate and therefore create what I call the vibration, the velocity, and also the basically vitality. Vitality comes by us. So this is my first message, that the steering wheel is in the hands of the Botswana. So we determine our own destinies, not circumstances. So yes, the nation is like, had a great uncle, a multi-billionaire, and that uncle is either dead or actually we can say ill. It doesn't matter. That uncle is out of the equation. That uncle is called diamond. So diamonds are not forever, and it doesn't have to surprise us. So, and it doesn't have to put us in fear or consternation. Okay, just pick it up from so many other elements. We have minimum 30 other resources, each one of which could be a $1 trillion economy. The only problem is that those were not activated early, and therefore they are dormant, and therefore they are slow. Some of them, the cycle takes 5 to 7 years to wake up and monetize. Some of them 3 to 5 years, some of them 2 years. So we have to look for what I call intelligent methodologies that create cash flow quickly within 1 year, because we don't have 3 years, we don't have 5 years. Why? It's very important. It's a race. There is a race between our what I call the key, and the problem of the economy is cash flow and cash generation. You don't have the machinery that generates and creates cash. So I call what we need is what I call pockets and methodologies and engines of larger and faster and earlier cash generation pockets. So the limitation of the budget plan was that it did not talk about. It talked about distribution, it talked about allocation, it talked about steering and protection, but it did not talk about how many different venues of revenue generation we have, and we have. So my message is that let's activate those. Good news today, different than even a few weeks ago, that the government is in consideration, review, and studying of my number one proposal to the nation. If you say you are like the Switzerland of Africa, then be the Switzerland of Africa. Open here fully what I call the offshore banking, and make Botswana the destination number one in Africa for the world I call silent monies, cash and savings deposits, the banking. So this country can become the financial hub, financial center, and also become like the Dubai. There are few countries in the world that we can benchmark. Switzerland, Luxembourg, all people know that. But also we have Hong Kong. We have also actually a new country who adopted these measures. Is a very poor country, much lower in government financial ratings, and that's Bangladesh. But they created the Bangladesh offshore banking and savings and cash deposit, and they are offering 7 to 8.5% returns on the money. The global money, especially from India and Asia, moved there. In 1 year, they have now raised $36 billion US. And they were so low in rating that the world would not give them even loans, much less high interest loans. So now they became loan receiving worthy country. Botswana starts from high. So it's very important for us to realize what Botswana has, that is the sleeping money, is our financial history, credit, previous wealth. Even we are losing, the speed of loss and the speed of new generation monies, they have to go hand in hand and replace each other. If nothing is done and we are hands on hand staying and rest assured, we are just resting, assured that we will have higher income as society, no, we have to work hard for it. So message one is work hard and work wise. So the first solution is large pockets of fast money. Why savings and cash deposit? Because they are silent monies. They are like sand dunes. So long as you are a safe country, your rating is high, your banking institutions are very sturdy, and your safety and security in both cyber security and in technical security, then the money will move there if you are having higher interest rate. The monies now in Asia are taking 1%. The silent monies in the even certificates of deposit. 1, 2, they are going down. In US, in China, in Africa, other countries also, the interest rate is low, whereas Singapore interest rate is still high, and Switzerland is high. These offshore areas, they are high. Botswana can be very much so the emerging and in fact the leading savvy and what we call it vibrant and abreast center of cash deposits. It's very simple. What we are saying is that the story is that Africa is rising, Africa economy is rising. Put your money here where the investment community is going to now focus. Like a multi-laser zoom is on Africa, Africa first. And while the investment monies will come, I'm talking not about investment monies, I'm talking about silent cash monies. This is called capital collection, not necessarily private equity. It could be private equity also, but first fast monies. There are several pockets of fast money. One is attracting the savings of others, be parked in Botswana. Then is also the assets that are dormant. Now we have calculation power. There is blockchain. We can record what I call, there could be registry, sample taking, and also logging and creating inventory. The inventory is an accurate calculation of the micro collection of the assets in the ground. Before the assets are mined and extracted, they can become accurate, high value, what I call bankable notes, financial papers that can be floated in both global stock markets, Botswana stock markets, global digital exchanges, and mercantile exchanges. There is plenty of markets where these papers can become cash early.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Doc. I mean, you keep on saying Botswana can become the savings and deposit capital of the world. The question that I want to ask you is this: that I know that there has been some concern, for instance, regarding the finance regulatory regime of Botswana by some organizations abroad that actually some time back we were even grey listed or something.
Yes.
With that track record, how easy can it be for us to become
We are still
savings and
multiple
deposit?
triple B, and on the long term, and still we are A rating. We are still investment grade. We are not in the fear zone, danger zone, but if we are downgraded 1, 2 more times, and also if our currency is devaluated 2 more times, then we go to south, we go to the level of being Malawi and Burundi. We don't want to go there. We already, Botswana was the highest, remember, in finance. It's now come down below Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe economy 6.5, 6.8. It was 2% GDP. Now it's going up and Botswana is going down. We need to call stop loss and regenerate new cash.
How do you do that?
Yeah, but I'm saying that
under the circumstances.
Okay. In general, economy and finance is the same as psychology. You either go spiral way down or you go spiral way up. Once you start going up, everything, karma comes in favor of you. So we need to give a signal into the community that Botswana is transitioned away from diamond, is not waiting for the diamond, even though we don't give up diamond, but we are not relying on diamond. Now we have activated fast cash coming in. 2, we have activated our sleeping dormant assets become alive and become financial bankable notes and flow. There is a $3 trillion money in crypto and in tokenization that can move here very fast if this is the engine that is tokenizing the real world dormant assets. So it's not a theory, it's actually real tools in our hand to make the asset that is in boxes, in the ground, in the boxes by figuratively I say. The US economy behind it is Federal Reserve, behind it is the gold is in Fort Knox, the gold is in boxes, the boxes are in the ground. The same as the assets of Africa, whether it's gold or whatever, titanium, whether it is lithium, whether it is cobalt, all of them are in the ground. But the difference is that that one is extracted and calculated. This one has not been extracted, but can be now calculated. That's the power.
Yeah.
So you can cash it out before you take it out, make it like the gold of Fort Knox, put it back in the box. You don't need, it's already in the box, just calculate it.
Yes, but again, what you have just said, I don't think that will generate income for the country immediately. The
tokenization can be, once it starts, it will be 3 to 6 to 9 months, all within 1 year. The cash and savings deposit, let's say I am here and I have $1 billion, whether it's institution. You know, who are the sources of the money of deposit? Individuals there are, institutions there are, companies there are, even there are sovereign wealth funds we call fixed income deposit. So they have calculated large and they put in a fixed return. Then they are not private equity, they have no risk. They are under the banking institution and regulatory of both the country, the region, and global. The banks will not default so easily as companies could. Therefore, they are willing to put their monies silent, don't touch it, but in safety zones. That can be calculated from, as I said, 7 different categories, 5 continents, 20 countries, and quickly become sand dunes, can become even $100 billion is not out of imagination within 1 year. It's possible. That's why the wise and the erudite Mr. President is now reviewing it. The governor of Bank Botswana is reviewing it. And we don't announce, we don't promise anything, but this is a possibility, what I call the identity of the nation. We are the financial hub. The identity and the brand of the nation, we are secure in finance. The Africa is rising, the assets are in other countries, but now we are the hub. We are the clearinghouse. And why? Because our stock market, third in the African continent, only 32 projects, but $50 billion money. But they are now not moving as much. So it's like the blood is there, but it's not circulating. So if you bring cash in the deposits in the banks behind, and the banks have to reinvest it, either as loan or as a guarantee or as the high frequency reinvestment or in BTAP and other private equity. Even the banks can get the silent money and reinvest in the society. They can circulate it. The government will wisely design that the monies will not go directly from the bank in and out to the foreigners. It must circulate to the stock market, to the private equity, to the loans, so that these monies will become cash flow or water in the...
If you are just joining us, we are on the public square. Today we are in conversation with Dr. Fazam Kamalabadi. He's an advisor in the Office of the President. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Welcome back to the public square. Today we are in conversation with Dr. Fazam Kamalabadi. He is a government advisor on international relations and economic development. So today we are talking economy, diversification, revenue generation. Welcome back, Dr. Kamalabadi. Perhaps I should just give you a minute to complete your thoughts. When we went for the break, you were given that analogy. What did you say Botswana was like?
I want the people to realize that no loss of hope, to realize that Botswana is the most fertile land in the economy and finance of Africa. It's built over 60 years. It will not lose it in one night if we do the right measures. Desperate times require desperate measures and fast measures. If we do it correctly, Botswana will wake up and rise above and ahead, way above and ahead of the heyday of the diamond. So I said Botswana is like the most fertile land. The irrigation system is already the best, but no more pula, no money, no cash, no water. This has become dried. So it quickly dried because no revenue. There was single revenue. Then that's why revenue generation is the name of the game. So where are the pula? Where is the water? One, water is all over the world in the savings accounts of people and institutions. How can we attract them? Because we have Africa, we have Botswana central place, we have high financial credit rating, we have robust banking system and regulations, safety and security. We could announce and make this as the brand Botswana, the cash savings of any collectors of monies, even from Egypt, even from China, Asia, they come here. This is very doable. Government is now at it. And the good news is that if it happens, it will definitely bring large monies. But this is only one. We don't wait for one. We don't say, oh, we were happy with diamond, now we are happy with this. No. We have to be very entrepreneurial. Where is the two bucket of pula or the money? Actually, it's sitting behind the wall. This is the irrigation land, this is dried, this is fertile land, but money is next. Where is the money? There has been, from the past, the 1 year plus 5 years, there has been many companies with money who came here, who set up offices, who wrote expressions of interest, and they have large monies to come and invest here. And they were all what I call never welcomed. They were actually fended off. Why? We don't discuss why. Because we had the diamond, we didn't need you. We were Shangri-La, we were Smurfit land. We don't want Gargamel to come and eat us up. So we better close the door and don't let anyone come in. That mentality took all the investors out. They still want to come, but the process is not going through.
What is stopping them from coming?
Yeah, I call this is the nation of beautiful layers of high value cloth, no needle to go through. Okay, originally was because they didn't need these investors. We are strong, we are good at our diamond. The next one is that the approval process became very hard and difficult.
Wait, Dr. Fazal. I don't understand that, because I mean the call for diversification for the last
30 years, 20 years.
We've been talking about diversification. So why would we then repel
because
the investors in that way?
But it's very important to realize that in reality you did repel. Botswana systematically, what we call it, not offended, but fended off, repelled investors. This is a fact. I have observed after the 1 year, and I have gone to every ministry, I see project proposals from a year, 2 years, 3 years ago that are eating dust. So my proposal...
Have those proposals been evaluated?
Yes, many of them. As I'm saying, there was a situation where we are complacent. The fact that you are not in desperate times made it, okay, let it be. And of course, there is some element of some people who are in charge of approvals, maybe, I am not a judge of that, maybe there is some element of a little bit of corruption. But that's not the main reason. The main reason is that the system was not robust. First topic, the system model, I analyze, the approval process is called the automatic default no go through. Stop. Whereas it's easily to change the basic foundation, become automatic default must go through. And that means no objection equals approval. So if a proposal comes and there is not written strong objection, within 3 weeks it must become approved.
What practical steps are being taken right now?
This must be taken. That? Prime Minister Modi took this step. 1 week, if the project is not approved, I approve, automatically approval.
Because, I mean, potential investors still complain about the difficulty of getting a visa, for instance, to come to Botswana.
Let's not get even there. That's the immigration. That's another topic.
Even licensing, it's a problem.
There are blockages. Every ambassador complains that they have a lot of investors, they are coming in and they are not being basically welcomed. So what I'm saying is that now I am proposing to the government, let's have in 2 months, one signing ceremony of 100 projects pre-approved. There is nothing danger in it. There is nothing that will go wrong in our due process or due diligence. In fact, it is their money. If they are willing to invest and we approve and they don't invest, we didn't lose anything. We have many others who will invest. But if we block them, there is no money. What I'm saying is that this is the dry land, fertile land, and here's the money piling up behind the dam. We are not letting the money come in. So not talk about future private equity investors. Even the past ones, we have to invite them back. It is called reverse engineering pre-approval. So I'm promoting the system that the different, and in fact, we have had meetings with even Attorney General, and as a system, I said, we don't need to break the monopoly. You yourself manage 20 centers, each one of them, based on your policies, your due diligence, can fast approve. But the end result must be projects should be approved in 2 weeks, not even a month. And the past projects must be approved now in one shot. If we do that, there is what we call it stimulate shot into the arm.
Shot in the arm. Yeah.
Because then the society will say, "Oh, wow, the investors are not running away. They are now welcomed in." So,
Can you talk to us about the 2 or 3 key mega cash generating initiatives that you have suggested or proposed to government?
yeah. 1, savings and cash deposits, silent monies of others. 2, the pockets of already prepared investors for years, let them come in now. Do a whole mass signing ceremony. 3, okay, there is local money. Botswana is not poor. Money in the stock market, money in the pension funds, money in the unions, money in the private rich 200 families, but they're not investing out anymore. It's dried, it's become rigid. Why? Because they don't see the growth projections. So if we brought in the cash and savings deposit and we brought in private equity in and signed 100 ceremony of the signing ceremony of the projects, the locals will start investing back. Okay, and then the stock market will become activated. So it is
And
like,
what kind of projects are you thinking of?
now-
Is it in industry?
okay, now talk about projects. Projects would mean assets, mining, agriculture, industry, job creation, all the BTAP. 6 categories, 186 projects. First, mind you, these projects are not immediate dividend creation. It takes 1 year, maybe 1.5 years for investors to come into them. It takes 2 years until there is a gestation period where they become dividends. You know, when the investor invests in a mine or in a power station, it doesn't mean the money comes to the government or to the community. It will take a period of time until the money becomes dividend and becomes surplus. So that is a 3 to 5 year process. But it is very important we do it. There have been many. In my own expressions of interest, there was a Verde Capital. They have the money. They are from the veteran. They have the Texas company, have a lot of money, multi-billions. They were said they can invest themselves in 300 megawatts. They don't need government takeoff. They take the 300 megawatts to 150 megawatts of data centers. We only have 3 megawatts, 150 megawatts. Excellent. Then it will go as the data center, the utilization goes to all the innovation hub and innovation and universities and also many other digital companies coming in. So AI is coming in. So all of this is a circulating, but we're blocked now 3-4 years, even in the time of Masisi. They came to revisit and they were still blocked. They're not blocked. If it was blocked, it's good. It's not blocked. It's called you drop the stone, did the well, and you don't hear back. So they all go to the desks, no feedback, whether the project is good, not good, we like you, we don't like you, you're ugly, you're poor, we don't want you, no feedback. So that's called silent sabotage or silent inaction. So we must make inaction, if no objection, becomes active. So like the Christian wedding, you will say at the end, whoever has an objection, raise your hand or hold your peace forever. That means that if good projects came and there was no strong written solid reason of rejection, 2 weeks they are approved. This will unleash the capital that is already coming to Botswana. We don't need to go run with BITC, with the visits of the different leaders, which we will do anyway. That means there is a lot of surplus money. We are not just bringing them in. Those that they want to come in on private equity, we are blocked. Those that are silent monies, we didn't make the best policies that we have, we didn't use it. And now becomes what we say, the good projects in BTAP. So then another group, there is one group that was Meridian, in fact. This group, they registered, they have been 2 years in here, and they said that they will invest $500,000 into feasibility studies. For what? For the Trans-Kalahari Railroad. So they have the money, they have even the chairman of the Afro-Exim Bank, they even have the African, all the continental organizations, chairman are willing to come if the project is approved. But the project 3 years has not been approved. I tell you, I myself know of 500 such projects. If we select the best 50 of them and do one signing ceremony, the news goes to the society that Botswana is moved out of inertia and has come now to smart action. It is that vote of confidence will activate, will create the vibration. So that's one other series. But how about decentralization? Oh, now we are coming to the very good topic. The country of Botswana, the beloved country of Botswana, the country that is the most peaceful ever in the history of human civilization. No apartheid, no race issues or these issues. The best value country that must become the crown of the countries of the world is hiding, is unknown. And now we are going to change and create a model miracle nation. But the country is now too centralized. Look at communist country of China. I am the one who helped the economy of the whole nation of China. In the beginning, it was 100% government economy, zero private economy. We have two sentences for it. It's called coupon economy. That means the people didn't get salaries, they didn't get monies. They had coupons to just go buy their necessities. There was not a money to exchange. It was coupons to go utilize.
Stamps.
That's the stamps. So that was what was China 35 years ago. The poorest, largest nation of the world, poorer than many African countries, poorer than India. For 100 years, the economy was lower than India. In 5 years, equalized. In another 30 years, become $18.3 trillion. 107x multiplier effect in 35 years. In one generation. Now, that same thing can be repeated here, for sure. Now, decentralization. The other word was they had the iron rice bowl. That means that it didn't matter, you are productive or not. You're working or not. You go to office and just for 2 hours and go away. It didn't matter if you are 3 hours late for your appointment or not. And it was like that. There was a whole pessimism in the whole of China. And of course, we love China. We love and we believe in their dignity. We believe in their creativity. But there was a period that it was dormant. So in Botswana, everything is silent. Everything is passive. Everything is complacent. Everything waiting to give me government purchase orders. And everybody's mind is still waiting. They're saying BTAP government is going to give money to the projects. No. The projects don't have money. The projects don't even have sometimes feasibility studies, but they are good. They have to be go-getters.
Okay, let's hold it there. We'll develop that point on the other side of the break. You are watching The Public Square. Today we are in conversation with Dr. Fazam Kamalabadi. He's an advisor in government on international relations and economic development. Please don't go away. We'll see you on the other side of the break. If you are just joining us, we are on The Public Square. Today, we are in conversation with Dr. Fazam Kamalabadi. He's an advisor to government on international relations and economic development. We are talking about the economy. Welcome back, Dr. Kamalabadi. When we went for the break, you were talking about decentralization. And I was just wondering, what are the practical steps to decentralize? And while you are there, what government agencies are pushing some of these good agendas?
Excellent. Decentralization, first, there are many entities here that each can become decentralized because it gives them autonomy, it gives them action. Again, it's like, if you are centralized, it's like putting the whole nation in a straitjacket and telling them, go play tennis. How can you play tennis when you are in a straitjacket? We should create multi-engines of growth, not centralized engine of growth. That's the merit of decentralization. Number one, the Ministry of Local Government. You have so many townships and cities, so many tribes, and each one of them can generate their own monies much more and much faster. For example, not only to decentralize from the federal government, the Ministry of Local Government, it has to go to the mayors, it has to go to the city councils, even to the units of operations. That means they can now create their local government bonds. They can now create their own local equivalent of sovereign wealth fund, local pockets of government monies, not from taxation only, but from activating the private and government assets. And they can go and run in the international community and invite investments. They can have the authority to sign approvals. Not all approvals have to come to one center and go to the Attorney General. A nation the size of France, as far as the, not population, but the size of the land, cannot have one approval agency. Okay, at least 20. Then not just that. The decentralization means that they can also issue bonds and issue also tokenization. They can themselves create, and in between cities, they can invest into each other. The other decentralization area that should be better is the SEZA, Special Economic Zones. Special economic zones are like a country within a country. They have uniqueness. China started with Shenzhen. That means that there are policies there that in the entire nation doesn't exist. Let's say tax breaks for 5 years, no tax. 3 years, half tax. Sometimes more, 10 years of no taxation. So everybody will be directed to go there. Now, this organization here doesn't have its own land, doesn't have its own policy-making ability, it doesn't have the taxation breaks as much, and it has been in operation for over a decade and not much has happened, and no blame to them at all. It's the whole ecosystem that's locked. And they need to become an authority. They should become an autonomy. In China, the Special Economic Zones collection is a ministry. It's an independent ministry. They must have their own land and they must have the right to issue their own visas. I don't mean short-term visas. I don't mean only labor visas. They should have a large allocation. Let's say 100,000 allocation of visas and operate it in 3 years. So, of course, we are address the issue of the whole immigration and visa separately. But the point is that this is a form of decentralization. And what other are decentralizations? As I said, even at the moment, the nation hasn't learned the art and technique of money generation. We have learned receiving money, utilizing it, sometimes for good causes, sometimes wasting and waiting. So once you are decentralizing, a lot of private, they'll become activated. Not just the business, but Botswana 3,000. We have to have 30,000 private companies. But even that one, entrepreneurial spirit can quickly fast fly. That means people don't know how to register companies. They don't know how to go and ask and raise, collect monies. They don't know how to use technology. They don't know how to find their own market. Don't wait for the government to buy. They don't know how to go in the region and sell their products. They will learn very fast. But if we don't encourage them, if we don't give them the freedoms in the policy, they will not. More than that, even for the private companies in China, we gave them incentives. They also will have a better tax rates than the government companies. So many government companies would want to come and joint venture now with the private companies because they have a better incentive. Even they have an export rebate of 13%. So by policies that encourages privatization, not just passively and saying we want to encourage privatization, but actually by policies for them, so everybody will be directed there. Even foreign capital, we can put two choices. If you want to be fully owned by yourself, fine, but then you have to pay higher taxations and you have to pay this raw material taxation, this. Then if you do joint venture with the private companies, you will have none of these taxations. This by policy, we are directing joint ventures. That means the foreign money will come, not get the benefit and run itself. We always talk about beneficiation. a wise government, which we have, is caring about its population, but not by slowness of economy, not by protectionism, but by activation, giving them, allowing them to, is like the elders allowing the children to show their own abilities, show their own powers. So
you are saying through decentralization, government approval system will become more agile.
this is only one element, system approval, but also will be policies that will encourage the creation, formation, and growth of the private economy. So many more companies are now created. And they themselves will go and joint venture with the government, will buy the assets of government. Government should allow a partial of the assets of the government to be privatized, both domestic privatization and international. Let me tell you the mix today. The before was 100% government economy in China. Now is 20% government, 80% private. The private itself is another 20 and 80. 20% is international investors, 80% is the local private. So 80% government private and 70 or 80% international is minority, domestic is majority. Now at least over 60% is totally private companies. They are not pulling each other down. They are actually become a whole ecosystem. One production becomes the raw material of the other, and that becomes the market of the other. It becomes a circulation and activation. So we need to have policy, not makers, implementers. You asked the question, who is now pushing this agenda? I'm happy to tell you, I'm very proud and pleased with the National Planning Commission. The National Planning Commission is the first group that worked with us very early. In their, what we call keynote 45 page, we put 50 elements, new elements. They consulted and adopted. Then it went through the parliament and before that to the cabinet. They consulted and now it's a 430 page NDP 12. And all those 50 elements are there. So they not only adopted it, now they are working with us to push and implement one by one. Several initiatives they have adopted. One is a presidential flagship initiative that we will be in the consultation now. Youth, Botswana Youth Think Tank Creation Initiative.
I was actually going to ask you, how do you empower the youth?
This strategy that I brought is super clever. There is no need for any penny of money from anyone to anyone. The youth that are in universities, 10 universities, whatever, PhD, masters, undergraduate, they have graduation last year. They have thesis and dissertations. They are writing about Western topics and theoretical topics. We redirect, give Botswana challenge and issues and Botswana solutions by Botswana youth. They will research and write 100, 150 pages about any topic and item. Okay? And they will provide solutions for all of those items. And those solutions will be published. First, we'll go to the government as a think tank to implement. Who will help the implementation? The same youth. Then the youth can also take it to the global and very famous journals and publish and become very well known. They will have more job creation abilities there and being employed and being utilized more than that, being entrepreneurial. That means so many universities, whether it is Harvard or Oxford or Stanford, they have centers of integration of the findings and dissertations of the students with the industry, with the productive forces of economy. This will be created here within a short time. Because if by August semester we start it, and in 9 months, 6 months, we get a lot of new knowledge, new Botswana youth lead Africa. So Africa issues and problems, African solutions. So they become think tank, the government will use, and even the media can take the best of the opinions and make it a popularized mindset change and improvement. So everybody will be in with one shot. This is where both every leader that we talk to, they want to support it and endorse it. And of course, Mr. President will lead this.
That's good.
So this is not direct economy, but it will bring a lot of money once the knowledge-based solutions are implemented. So
And they're generated
they are
locally.
generated locally.
That's right.
And it
Now-
makes a big noise globally. That look, Africa is rising. African youth have found the solutions for African problems, and they are so intelligent because the solutions will not be theoretical, will be 50, 70 points and mechanisms of operations, and they start operating them. So within 1 to 3 years, you will get accumulation of knowledge while you bring the what I call deposit and savings cash of other countries. So these two initiatives are now being what we call at least reviewed the methodology and pushed by the different government agencies. So I can say a month ago, I knew we are on the verge of change, but nothing had happened. I believe after the holidays and in the new year, I see the determination of the government, the agility of the government, and they have understood the urgency and the emergency. And I have to explain.
Yeah, well, we are yet to see that. My last question.
Okay, you
People
want
are-
to see the urgency and action?
Yes.
You will see the next 2 to 3 months.
Very well.
Okay.
So we'll look out for that. My very last question is this to you, Dr. Malabadi. People are losing hope. People are losing jobs and livelihoods. Businesses are closing.
Many exiting.
Many exiting.
Gathering shop and selling and going out of the country.
Yes.
It is exactly the spiral way down that I meant.
So, what can you tell someone in that situation to restore the hope in them that this economy will work for them?
You can never restore the hope by words, by promises, empty. It must be seen that the country is become agile and fast and reactive. First in the government decision making. Then a few initiatives must be announced that are not nominal, they are real. And the reality will wake everyone up itself. Hence, I suggested 100 projects to be signed at once, not just nominal and useless projects, real projects. That's one area. That's why I said announce to the world that we are the savings and cash deposit. So we collect the money from others and they'll come and the money goes into the economy. If these two are approved, and then there is many others, decentralize and let the companies, we call in Chinese, 百花齐放, let the 100 flowers all bloom at the same time. Don't protect them. Overprotectionism is the mentality and mechanism. So we need to have a lot of mechanism change. The government is locked, is interlocked. It's like a big, giant machinery. Even you can say a giant, that nobody likes it the way it is. Everybody wants to change it, and nobody knows how to change it, and everybody is saying that it's not happening, nothing is happening. Everybody becomes pessimistic. You only need 2 to 3 unlocking, okay? Unentanglement. 2 to 3 initiatives. When they are acting and they are happening. We had in the past some investor visitors that have come here, but even them, their approval process is still slow. Some of the last year, they will mature this year, so where people will see. Like the Omanis, they are as real as you can get. And they have signed not just MOU, they have signed a memorandum of agreement. And now in end of the March, there is going to be a big progress on it. And then by April, and then by a few of the investments will come in. In general, they are slow. They will not come very large money in a short time because this is private equity. Remember, private equity needs to go through reviews. They have to go through technical review. Then they need to go through legal review. They have to go through what I call commercial. There is a market for it or not. Where we'll sell things. Then there is a financial review. What is the return on investment? Then there is partner. Is the partner very capable, very trustworthy? All of these reviews takes months, and a year is gone. Silent monies are no need in review. The country is safe. The country is giving high interest. The bank federal is already encouraged this, announced it. We will come in. So we have to have a medley of action this year. In fact, only within 1 to 2 months. And I believe some of the fruits of the last year labor will become mature here. Now, what other way to encourage people? Not blindly. To tell and really that's the case, that they are the ones who should take responsibility. I hope we will have other sessions to talk about.
Next time, that's what we will talk about.
Never have a mentality.
Talk about the new era.
Yeah. New era, new aura. And I just list it. We should not be the nation of complaining.
Yes.
We should not be the nation of waiting. We should take our destinies into our own hands. We should not complain. Nobody paid me. Nobody asked me to come to Botswana. I have a mission. I have a God-given mission. I want to see the entire continent of Africa rise, become like China, above them. Why not? All is your destiny and dignity. You can do it. If you want it, you start acting. If the doors are closed, you push the envelope. Okay, that's why I am with the media.
Yeah.
I'm with the media to kindly help the population, demand from the nation and from the government to open up the engine of approvals.
That's good.
So I'm here for that purpose.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamarabadi. Our time is up. Today's discussion makes one thing clear. Attracting investment is not only about international diplomacy, it is about domestic execution. Botswana's challenge is not a lack of global interest. It is whether our systems are agile enough to convert interest into signed agreements, capital inflows, operational businesses, and real jobs. In times of fiscal strain, credibility becomes currency. Investors look for policy clarity, regulatory efficiency, and macroeconomic stability. Citizens look for results, and markets look for signals that reforms are not merely promised, but implemented. The question now is whether government can move with urgency that the economic moment demands, cutting through bureaucracy, aligning institutions, and delivering measurable outcomes within clear timelines. Diversification is no longer a slogan, it is an economic necessity. Thank you for joining us on the Public Square. Good day, and as always, the conversation continues.